Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new here. Welcome back to my channel if you're a returning viewer or subscriber. In today's video we're going to be filming TBR gel picks my reads for the month of September. I had a very successful reading month in August. I read a lot of books and I kind of want to dial back how much I'm getting through. I'm going to be reading like good books obviously, but I want to be reading maybe fewer than I did last month. Because it's autumn, there are a bunch of books that are on my kind of radar, ones that I've been kind of saving up to get to, particularly in this month, but also throughout the autumnal season. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to talk you through some books that I'm kind of hoping to get to. If the prompts don't align with these books, it's not the biggest deal, but ideally these are the books I'd love to pick up. So the first one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This one is set at a school. It's like a dark academia, cozy mystery kind of book, which I feel like would just be perfect for September because it's like back to school season. Could be fun. I've had this on my TBR for years at this point, so I definitely want to read it and then I can decide if I want to keep it or unhaul it because it's just been sitting on my TBR for years. Another book that I'd love to get to is Just Kids by Patti Smith. This is a memoir. I love Patti Smith, but I've never read any of her books, so I'm really excited to dive into her work. I put this on so many TBRs over the last couple of years and I failed to ever get to it, so I don't know, it just feels like a September book to me. This is probably like #1 priority for this month. I would love to get to Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I'm actually going to read that one for a vlog. I don't own a copy though because I want to rebuy it in this edition because it matches my other du Maurier books, but I can't find it anywhere online, so if I pulled a prompt and it was appropriate for this book then I'd definitely like source a copy, but that is there. But I don't mind getting to that in like October or November or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of on my autumnal TBR. By the way, I will be doing a full like autumn TBR talking you through every single book I hope to get to this season. That video will come in a couple of weeks probably, but for now, here's your little sneak peek into it. And then the final book that I'm kind of interested in reading this month is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is another book that I've owned for years. I think I got given it in like 2019, 2020, so it's very much overdue a read. I'm put off by it because it's a long book, but also the font is tiny. Like genuinely, I think probably the smallest font in a book that I own. I've heard incredible things about this. It's a fantasy book, YA fantasy, and it's like a retelling, or like it's like inspired by the Arthurian legends. I know it just sounds great, but also kind of intimidating. But I've wanted to read this far too long. The only thing that's kind of putting me off picking this one is that I am in the middle of Iron Flame, and that's a really thick, like 600-page fantasy book. So while I've got that on the go, this one might not be a good idea, but we'll see. If it fits a prompt, then I'll gravitate towards it. But without further ado, I'm going to get into the video and see what the TBR jar has in store for me in September. Okay, first prompt. I'm really nervous. A book on my 2024 TBR. I'm going to consult the list. I have it on my laptop just down here. Hopefully there's one that's also on my kind of like autumn TBR. That'd be great. Where is that? I'm going to search actually. 2024 TBR. Okay, we have Eve's Hollywood, Happy Ever After playlist, Name of the Wind, Horror of the Orange Tree, Dracula, 100 Years of Solitude, and The Beautiful and Damned. I think I'm going to go for the Happy Ever After playlist, and that's just because this is a romance book and I'm not actually in a massive romance mood. I've just read quite a lot of it throughout August, but I feel like it'd be good to have one on there, so that's what I'm gonna pick. This is really exciting. I'll tell you about it towards the end of the video when I like run through all the books we picked. I have really high hopes for this, and it's my first Abby Jimenez, which I'm excited about as well. Prompt #1 done. Next prompt. A book that matches your outfit. So I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing this white shirt and it has black stripes, so we could do something black and white. This doesn't really match my outfit, but I want to read it, and it kind of does because we've got the black and white. I mean, it's the same kind of like vibe. Am I cheating? That doesn't. This does, but it's a sequel, so I can't read it. You know what? I'm just going to choose this because I don't have anything that really matches, and I feel like this is, whoops. As far as the books I have on my TBR go, I don't have many that are white and black or black and white, so black and white cover. I'm going to choose this. I know that's potentially cheating, but my game, my rules, which is literally the brattiest thing I could say. Prompt #3. I spent so long searching for that prompt that we're like many minutes into this video and we've barely got going. Half of these are like open because I've used them before, so we're going to go for one that I can't see. We've got first book in a series, and I already know what I'm going to do for this. I'm going to do Truly Devious. This is the first book in, how many books are there? Are there 3 or 4? I don't actually know, but this is definitely a series and this is definitely the first book in it, so I'm so glad I got that because that's ticked off my little list of like hopefuls. Prompt #4. A book I didn't get to on last month's TBR. Okay, there are a couple of books I didn't get to last month, so let's have a look at what they were. First of all was Slowdo's Fast Company by Eve Babbitts, Agua Viva by Clarissa Spector, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. I'm gonna do My Brilliant Friend which is kind of crazy. I want to film a vlog for this and I didn't get around to it in August, and I just know that I'm going to put this off until summer, like next year in 2025. So if I don't get to it now, then I'm never going to get to it. I'm also hoping we're going to have like a little bit of an Indian summer, just because we've had terrible weather throughout August, or throughout the majority of August, and I feel like this book would be perfect to read if like the weather picks up a little bit before it completely drops off. I'm going to go with that for a book that I put on last month's TBR that I didn't get to. Okay, final prompt, I think, unless we get like a really skinny one. I'm just in the mood for something else. This one fell out. We'll go with this. Random number generator. Okay, this is kind of fun. It's also scary. We've had this before, but I really kind of enjoy doing it. It's kind of something different. I'm terrified though because we've got, okay, this is TBR too, but these shelves are all TBR as well. So I'm going to do from number 1 to 5 to decide which shelf, and then we'll do 1 to whatever to pick which book on the shelf it is. And I'll screen record so you can tell that I'm not cheating. And I think we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Generate. 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is my kind of like fantasy shelf, which I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm going to count how many books there are on the shelf, and then we'll get the number generator to tell me which one I have to read. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 books. 3, 2, 1. 19. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Interesting. Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I don't, oh my gosh, this is kind of long. I feel like this should not be long. Is this on, let me check if it's on Spotify, because then I could listen to it as an audiobook. I mean, it's here, but do I have to pay for it? No, it's included in premium. 11 hours, 55 minutes. Okay, I might book this then. But yeah, that's for a book that was picked by the number generator. Those are 5 books. I feel like I'm going to leave it there just so I'm kind of giving a little bit of a break this month. But without further ado, let's just run through every single one that was picked for the month of September. For a book on my 2024 TBR, I chose Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. Like I said, this will be my first Abby Jimenez book. I'm so excited about it. This sounds great. We're following this girl called Sloane, and one day she finds this dog and it's kind of like running loose, so she goes and checks it and it has a collar, and she finds out that it belongs to this guy. He's actually a musician and he's on tour in Australia, so she kind of looks after his dog and they start this kind of like flirty banterous exchange via text. So it's kind of like One of Us Is Famous trope. But the reason why I got particularly excited about this book, because I thought it already sounded fun, is because there is a playlist at the back of this book, which is 2 pages long, tons of songs on here, and the artists are like fantastic. Usually it's like Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Gracie Abrams, who else is there, like Luke Hemmings, that kind of vibe. But this one is some people who I actually personally listen to. Like it's got the Wombats, Coin, the Smiths, Mazzy Star, The Neighbourhood, Tame Impala, The Black Keys, Bring Me the Horizon, Radiohead, like great people, as well as my literal favourite band ever, which is Arctic Monkeys. So I feel like this woman is gonna know how to write a man, basically. I don't know what his style of music is, but the playlist gives me good vibes. That's the shallow reason why I feel like this will be a fun read. Anyways, thank you so much, TBR Jar. You did me good. For a book that matches my outfit, I did stretch this one a little bit by choosing Just Kids by Patti Smith. Like I said, Patti Smith's memoir, following her life in New York, kind of like on the cusp of her fame, closely following her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe, who was a really famous photographer who actually studied for photography A-level, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I've heard nothing but incredible things about this. I've had so many mutuals on Instagram try and push me? No, that sounds really pressuring. Try and encourage me to pick this book up, and I just never got to it. So that is second book on the TBR. I'm beyond excited for that. That's like honestly a 5-star prediction. For the first book in a series, I very, very happily got Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. So this one follows this girl called Stevie Bell, and I believe she looks into a cold case, or like something that happened in the history of her school. She goes to like some like private academy in Vermont. Yeah, she looks into a cold case, and she kind of like starts going down this like rabbit hole for the case, and it puts her own life in danger a little bit. But I just think the vibes are going to be absolutely immaculate. I'm so excited to read this and hopefully enjoy it so much that I pick up the rest of the series as well. So this is like peak September book for me. For a book that was on last month's TBR that I didn't end up getting to, I have My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, the first book in the Neapolitan Quartet. This is exciting because I feel like before the autumnal vibes like fully hit, I can read this book. It's a good like transitional book, I feel like, because if we get some warm weather, this is ideal. This is set in Naples. We're following these 2 girls. It's about their friendship. I think the series ends when they're much older, but I believe it starts when they're children. So this one is, I think, children to teen, and then the next is teen to adolescent. I don't know, we just follow these 2 girls throughout their lives, and this is the first book. We're seeing their friendship form and the differences between the 2 girls, but also the thing that brings them together. This is meant to be just like girlhood in a book, and I've heard incredible things about this. And then the random number generator chose Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This is in a series of like, I think it's called DC Icons. Yes, that's correct. Leigh Bardugo did Wonder Woman, Sarah J Maas did Catwoman, Marie Lu did Batman, and Matt de la Pena did Superman. I've read the Batman one. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I love Leigh Bardugo's writing, and this is one of the ones I'm most excited for, as well as Catwoman. I do own that as well, because obviously it's Sarah J Maas, and I'm a big Sarah J Maas fan. So I'm definitely intrigued by this book, and I'm really glad that I was kind of given the push to pick it up, because I feel like I wouldn't have got to it. It wouldn't have been like my top priority unless I was forced to read it, which is perfect. That's like literally the point of the TBR videos, is making you pick something that you otherwise might not have done because you don't have a choice. Sometimes you've got to force yourself. Those are the 5 books I'm hoping to get to in the month of September. Let me know what you're reading, what you have in store for this month. If you have read any of these, what your thoughts are on them. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, to let me know that you did. Subscribe if you'd like to stick around and see me get to these books throughout the month. I also will be filming vlogs for at least one of these, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. I'll see you very soon in a couple of days for another video, which should be my August wrap up. Bye bye.